was a big fan. He was a Hlubi. Bobby was a Hlubi.
If you and Sonwabile were to get into a boxing ring, who would win? Who's that?
Listen, let me tell you, if you hang around with bruises, you're gonna be one.
Pause, bro. Guess what I did? Me and Bobby are not beefing. He purely hates me.
The internet doesn't forgive. It doesn't forget. It watches silently, lurking in the shadows of every comment section, waiting for the next drop of blood to hit the water. And when it does, the sharks circle. Sonwabile hadn't expected things to go this far. What had started as simple reaction videos, just a dude vibing, reviewing content, giving his takes, had somehow evolved into one of the biggest digital feuds South Africa had seen in recent years. And at the center of it all, Ghost Hlubi. Back in the day, there had been no bad blood. Sonwabile had reacted to Ghost content like any other YouTuber looking to entertain his audience. And Ghost? He had been cool with it. He had dropped comments under the videos, hyping Sonwabile up, calling his reactions W content. It had seemed like mutual respect, maybe even a decent creator friendship. But then, in the blink of an eye, everything had changed. Now, their names in the same sentence meant war. What had once been just another online back and forth had exploded into something personal, something bigger than either of them. Something that had made Ghost strike back in a way no one had seen coming. If there was one moment that sent the beef from low-key tension to full-blown internet warfare, it was the Spreading Humors podcast. Sonwabile had been invited to the show, hosted by Zile Weezy, Yonder Woods, and most importantly, Sima Mangolai. That name alone made the invite dangerous, because Sima was Ghost Hlubi's ex. By this time, Ghost had already moved on. His new girl, Jay Amora, had been in the picture, and on paper, it seemed like everything should have been water under the bridge. But in reality, the timing had been way too fresh. The internet still saw Sima as Ghost's girl, whether or not they were together. And Sonwabile? He had been poking the fire with a stick, waiting for it to explode. During the podcast, Sonwabile had done everything but hold back. He had been throwing shade at Ghost's appearance, implying that he was only beautiful in the eyes of God.
That's the nicest guy, so I had to scare him.
Okay.
I tell him, my man guys, Umshu ghosty guys, like Umshe in his way, like when you say someone like bro, you are beautiful, like in God's eyes. Yeah, it's beautiful in God's eyes.
Yeah.
Like Ghost is a very attractive person in God's eyes.
A smooth diss, subtle, but deeply disrespectful. He had also called out Ghost for dissing his favorite rapper, Blackie. But the final straw had been the moment he set his eyes on Sima.
How are you doing, Sima?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing better now that I'm in your presence. You understand? How How's that shit? How?
Seema blushed. She smiled. And worst of all, she agreed with it. The moment had been caught in 4K. Ghost hadn't responded. Not publicly, at least. But Sonwabile's YouTube channel had felt the consequences almost immediately. Days later, Sonwabile had gone to check on his channel, only to see 7 copyright strikes. Every single one of them had one thing in common. Ghost Hlubi. 7 videos, all featuring Ghost as the main topic, had been taken down. Just like that, no warning, no conversation. Just pure digital warfare. The internet had been split. Some people had seen it as a justified move. Ghost had been disrespected, so he had taken control of the narrative.
Who's your competition?
For me, I don't look at the people that I've already surpassed.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I don't really. I just look and glance past.
Is Sonwabile not your competition?
Who's that?
Who's that?
Yeah.
He's a nigga that's moving in the YouTube space.
I don't know.
Is he not your competition?
I don't know.
You don't know him?
Enlighten me.
Others had seen it as an overreaction. A desperate attempt to silence someone who had just played the game better. But Sonwabile? He hadn't backed down. If anything, he had done the opposite. If Ghost had been hoping to shut Sonwabile up, it had backfired. Sonwabile had gone from joking about taking Seema to actually taking her. What started as friendly teasing quickly escalated into something very, very real. And unlike Ghost, Sonwabile made sure the entire world saw it. A video had dropped. In it, Sonwabile and Seema had been out on what could only be described as a date. The craziest moments? He kissed her on camera. Another video had followed. One where Seema had been on his shoulders as they took part in a TikTok challenge.
Oops, got your girl. You should have treated her right. Now she would have ripped because she love it over here. Yeah, I love it over here.
But the parts that sent the internet into a complete meltdown was when Sonwabile had playfully slapped her thigh while carrying her. It was pure entertainment for the internet, and pure humiliation for Ghost. While all this had been happening, Ghost kept quiet. No statements, no tweets, just silence. That is, until Jay Amora broke. Ghost's then girlfriend had gone live on Instagram, crying. Not just about the breakup itself, but about how quickly Ghost had moved back to Seema.
I'm good. I just pray about it. We went to church together. We went to church together.
The internet had been ruthless. Why would Ghost go back to the same girl who had been publicly vibing with his biggest rival? Did he still have feelings for her? Or was this just some twisted way of getting back at Sonwabile? It didn't matter. The damage had been done. And just when people thought the drama had hit its peak, real life caught up. It had been an event. Crowded, full of influencers, cameras everywhere. No one expected Sonwabile and Ghost to cross paths, but they did. Ghost had arrived with Seema on his arm, as if daring the world to say something. Sonwabile spotted him and didn't hesitate. He had walked up to Ghost, looked him dead in the eyes, and tapped his chest. The room froze. Cameras had been out. People were filming. Ghost had done nothing. Half the people had said Sonwabile sunned him, meaning he made him look weak by publicly punking him in front of his girl. The other half had insisted that Ghost had done the mature thing by not reacting. But the damage had been done. People stopped taking Ghost seriously whenever he tried to act tough online. And Sonwabile, he walked away from the encounter without a scratch. Ghost stayed silent for a while, but he eventually responded in the most pithy way possible. He posted a video titled, "I Finally Did It," where he had taken a Lamborghini Urus for a test drive, hinting that he was buying it. It had dropped right after Sonwabile had bought his first car, a Volkswagen Polo. The internet had immediately picked up on the shade. Ghost had indirectly thrown a shot, comparing his supposed Lamborghini purchase to Sonwabile's Polo.
I don't know all the polo people. I don't know. You guys can figure it out. All the polo people. We have bikini years in this side. You get me? Yes, sir.
The beef had gone from personal to economic, and it wasn't stopping. Fast forward to today, and the beef is still alive. Ghost had recently been interviewed by Freshman magazine. When asked who would win in a boxing match between him and Sonwabile, he had acted as if he didn't even know who Sonwabile was.
If you and Sonwabile were to get into a boxing ring, who would win? Who's that? Anyone care to explain? Yeah, nah, I don't know. I don't know who that is. My next question.
The internet wasn't buying it. People had brought up every moment of the beef, from Sonwabile and Sima's Instagram live kiss to the infamous thigh slap. The story isn't over. The internet is still watching. And one thing is clear. This is far from finished.